Well, our etiquette expert, Diane Gottsman, has been busy answering your questions this holiday season. And so this morning, she is sharing some of the answers to those most common questions that people have during the holidays. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Shelly. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too. I think this is very important to talk about. I know you get a lot of questions from people who watch the show, people who know you, and these are common questions. So we're going to be helping a lot of people out right now, right?
That's right.
All right. So our first question comes from someone who does a lot of baking, and she likes to deliver baked goods over the holidays, but she doesn't like to give out the recipe. So she wants to know if it's rude to say no to people who are asking for the recipe.
Gosh, I feel this question, okay? So, because I have special recipes, and I know that we all probably have had this happen at one time or another. So, no, it's not rude to not give it out, but it's rude to change the recipe. So, in other words, first of all, it's a compliment when someone asks you for the recipe. It means they love what you gave them. But if you don't want to give it to them, rather than just giving them a different recipe or leaving an ingredient out, just say, gosh, this is a family recipe. I make it because it's a special tradition. And if I give it to you, I'm going to feel like it's not as special.
Right.
The reality is, even if you give them the recipe, they're probably not going to make it. They have so many others. So your choice is to give it to them, tell them the truth, but not change the recipe in any way.
Good to know. All right, this next question is a common one. It's about giving tips to a hairstylist or a housekeeper at the end of the year. We do that. It's a holiday tip. But this year, this person wants to know what they should say when they're not giving as big as a gift that they did in the past.
So if it's something obvious, if it's a housekeeper that you've had for years and he or she is counting on that, you might just say, you know, I'm going to make it up in a different way. You know, our finances are a little different this year. But if it's somebody that you're just gifting and you would normally give them something a little larger, it's not necessary to make excuses or give them any type of excuse. Just give them the gift. It's a gift. A gift is from the heart. And I'm sure they'll be very grateful whatever you give them.
Absolutely. Good answer. All right. This is from another viewer who's usually invited to her sister-in-law's Christmas dinner, but she hasn't been invited yet. And a neighbor has asked her to go to their party. So does she need to ask the sister-in-law in advance if she can go somewhere else, or just ignore it?
Well, it's only a few days away. So if you haven't been invited, chances are you're not going to be invited. We are in the middle of a pandemic and we need to be very careful with social distancing. So if you are going someplace, if you want to go someplace else, and I know that you're going to be sitting outside, we have such beautiful weather right now, feel free to go. You might call your family member and say, listen, I know things are different. I want to wish you a happy holidays. And I know next year hopefully we'll pick up the tradition. So chances are you're not invited. That's probably what's happening.
Right. Absolutely. Well, this is another one along the same lines. This person was uninvited to a holiday gathering just recently, and she wants to know, isn't it rude to cancel at the last minute?
I would normally say it is when you cancel at the last minute. But given that we are, again, in the middle of this pandemic, they probably have had different considerations. If somebody calls you at the last minute and says, you know, we're having second thoughts and we're going to change our guest list, you know, meaning we're going to just stay close with our own family pod, I think that we give them some grace and we understand. You know, in a perfect world, if somebody invites you and then they cancel at the last minute without a really good excuse, that would be rude.
Okay.
But right now, I think that things are a little bit shaky and definitely a different holiday season.
All right, we've got time for one last question. This is from a person who has gotten a ton of food items as gifts, you know, cookies, fruitcake, things like that. Is it okay to re-gift those if she can't eat them all?
Well, certainly you don't want it to go to waste. And if you want to re-gift it, by all means, just let them know. Just say, I have a lot of this fudge, or I have a lot of cookies. Would you like some of these? I'd love to share them with you if you would like them. Because right now, some people are welcoming home baked goods. Other people would prefer to not have anything made from somebody else's kitchen. So again, this is a little bit of a slippery slope right now, but if you're going to re-gift, by all means, that's a kind thing to do, but let them know that this is not from my kitchen, but it's from someone I trust and I'd like to share with you.
Very good. Diane, thank you so much for all these tips and answers. We appreciate you. Merry Christmas. I'm going to give the viewers your information in case you've got more questions for Diane. You can find her on Instagram at Diane Gottsman. She is our etiquette expert. You can also find her online at dianegottsman.com or Protocol School of Texas.